So the thing is, if you set your goal on an emotional level, you're going to need to stay on an emotional level to sustain the goal. So, okay, let's say that you are in a situation where something embarrassing happened. And because you never want to be in that situation again, you would set a goal that would help you to not experience that. So let's say you are at a checkout counter and you have all this stuff to pay for, and the cashier is ringing the stuff up, and then they tell you how much it is, and you realize you don't have what you need to make that purchase, right? And there are people around. So obviously those people are going to hear that you don't have enough money to pay for the stuff that you want. And that's embarrassing. And you put some stuff back and you pay for the stuff that you can't afford. And then you leave and you're feeling sad because you're disappointed in yourself. You feel embarrassed and you make the choice, you make the decision that and the declaration within yourself that I am never going to be in this situation again where I have stuff that I want to buy and I can't pay for it. And out of that comes your decision to do better with your finances, right? And that's great. So you set a goal, you create a vision board, and on that vision board, you write what is the exact amount that I want to make this year. You start brainstorming different things that you can do to bring in more income. All those things are good. None of those things are bad, but understand where a lot of women miss the mark is that they don't address the behaviors, the thoughts, and the feelings that got them to the place where they didn't have enough to pay for what they wanted. Right. And sometimes it's not as cut and dry as, well, I did too much shopping and I need to cut back on shopping. Why are you shopping so much? Right? What feeds those behaviors? Do you realize that when you're in a certain mood, you're more likely to shop? You have to dig deeper because setting the goal in and of itself is not enough. Understanding why you set the goal is extremely important, because if you relied on that feeling of embarrassment, that feeling of disgrace, that feeling of not having enough to really motivate you to get to that goal, what happens when you start doing better? Is that going to keep you motivated on the way to the goal? So it's almost as if it's this case where you start depending on feeling low. And when you get really low, you get really motivated, and then you get high again. And you're up on this high and you're riding and you're operating on this sense of, it's almost a sense of desperation, to be honest, that tells you this is what I have to do. I have to do this in order to get through, in order to lose this weight, in order to save this money, in order to buy this house. I have to do this. I have to push. And you're relying on that feeling of lack, that feeling of not having enough, and even sometimes that feeling of not being enough in order to keep you motivated to get to where you want to be. But what happens when things start to look good is you regress and you pull back, and it now becomes a state where, oh, things are not so bad, and then you start to slip, and then your habits start to slide, and then you become inconsistent with the things that you're supposed to be doing to keep you on track towards your goal, because that feeling of disappointment, that feeling of embarrassment, that negative feeling that got you to a place of desperation no longer exists. So you slide back down, and then you realize, oh my gosh, I really messed up. I need to get back on track. And then there's that feeling of desperation again, and that starts the cycle. So what you find is you have these cycles of productivity, right? And these cycles of clarity that then decline into cycles of what feels like laziness and stagnation and confusion. And it's because the missing element is healing. And it may not even sound like, what does healing have to do with me saving money? What does healing have to do with me buying a house? What does healing have to do with anything besides maybe relationships? You can associate healing with relationships, but you have to heal your relationship with money. You have to heal your relationship with yourself. You have to heal the way that you speak about yourself. You have to heal your vision. You have to heal how you see yourself in order to be sustainable, so that you don't have to depend on feeling low. You don't have to depend on feeling embarrassed. You don't have to depend on feeling too fat or too skinny or too anything in order to get you motivated. You actually start to develop what I like to call a visionary lifestyle. It becomes a part of who you are, so that you don't find yourself repeating these same cycles over and over again. Because this is the way that I see it. The cycles that we're in, it seems like we're moving forward. So move with me. I'm going to turn this way, right? Seems like you're moving forward. So this is what you're actually doing. You're in this low place here, and then you're like, oh, I never want to feel like this way again. And you get really clear and you get really focused and you start working. And there is this upward movement that feels really good. And then you reach the pinnacle of it. When you reach the pinnacle of whatever it is that you're trying to do, and you're feeling really productive and everything feels good, you go back down into the state of decline. And then that takes you right back down to the bottom. And you're like, oh, I feel horrible. I never want to feel like this again. And then the cycle keeps going. And then you just keep doing that. You go through these highs of productivity, these highs of I'm doing all the things, I'm engaging in great habits, I'm doing what's needed, and then you fall off, right? You understand what I'm saying? But instead of doing that, when you have a visionary lifestyle, instead of your circle going like this, your circle begins to go like this, and it becomes a spiral. So I want you to imagine a spiral staircase. Right? So instead of being on a hamster wheel and having the illusion of moving forward, you're actually on a spiral staircase. And every time you go around and you have that full circle moment in your life, instead of having that full circle on the hamster wheel that seems like it's propelling you forward, but only puts you back in the same place, you're going to have a full circle moment on a staircase. And I want you to imagine that the staircase has multiple doors. Okay, so at a point of this staircase, you're going to enter the staircase and you're going to start walking up the stairs. So that's your first iteration of whatever it is that you're trying to do. You're trying to save money, you're trying to lose weight, whatever your goal is, right? That's the first circle of that. So when you come in through this door, you go around that circle in a staircase, you never come back to the same place, right? Even if you come back to what looks like the same place, you're actually one level up. And this is what we do. When you have a visionary lifestyle, this is what happens. Every full circle moment is going to put you in a different level. So when you complete that full circle, you're never going to end up back where you started. You're always going to be one level higher. And this is what we do. This is the improvement. So then there's another door there. There's another door that gives you access to new things on that level. And every time you go up that staircase, there's another door. Every time you go up, there's another door and another door and another door. And it's infinite as long as you're alive. But allow yourself to do what feels like it only feels like you're going in circles, because there are going to be tests in life. So whatever the challenge is that you have faced, whether it's health, whether it's finances, whether it's relationships, whatever the challenge is that you have faced, whatever that goal is, whatever you have felt like you are trying to break free from, there is going to be something that is going to test you at some point. And that's that full circle moment. That full circle moment is going to test you so that you will see, have I risen to the next level? Am I on a hamster wheel or am I on a spiral staircase? Because either way, you can walk on the hamster wheel, you can even run, but you're never going to get anywhere. When you're on that spiral staircase, you are guaranteed to move up to the next level, but you have to do it one step at a time. Have patience with yourself. Have patience with yourself and don't expect that instantly you're going to go from one level to another, right? There are going to be elevator moments. There are going to be elevator moments in your life, but the majority of your life is going to be you on that spiral staircase, one step at a time, making the journey up to the next level. And every single step of that staircase is worth it. Every single step of that staircase is a discovery. It's a discovery of life. It's a discovery of what is possible. It's a discovery of who you are. It's a discovery of an elevated view, because I believe that God gives us, with every single step that we take upwards, right? Not forwards, but upwards. Every single step that we take upwards, it brings us to a clearer understanding of what God has for us. The higher your view is, I know there's a scripture that talks about being seated with Christ in heavenly places. We were meant to approach challenges from a place of victory. We were meant to approach challenges and even approach our goals, things that we have not even yet achieved. But we were meant to look at it from a place of victory, from a place of possibility. When you're on a hamster wheel, you can't do that. Right? But when you're on a spiral staircase, every single time you take a step, you're seeing a little bit more, and you're seeing a little bit more, and you're seeing a little bit more. This is how I want you to approach your vision. So no matter what it is, if it's very practical things, it could be spiritual things, it could be emotional things, right? Because we are not just only physical beings and we want to have physical things, right? We want to look at our relationships. We want to look at our mental health. We want to look at our spiritual life. There's so many different types of goals that you can have. But no matter what goal you have, look at it from the standpoint of being on a staircase, not being on a hamster wheel. And it will make a big difference in the way that you approach your goals and your dreams and your desires in life. And every step, remember, is a discovery. It is a discovery. It is exercise. It is hard work. It's just like climbing real stairs in real life, and you're going to get sore, right? You get spiritually sore, you can get mentally and emotionally sore. But as you're getting sore, you're getting stronger. And the more you walk, the more used you get to walking, and the stronger you get, the easier it's going to become. And soon you're going to be running up those stairs, level after level in life, and you're going to see that there is so much joy. There is so much joy. Where you once felt soreness, where you once felt like this is so hard, I'm not even sure how I'm going to do this, you're going to have joy on the journey. So I hope this helps. Blessings on your journey. I will talk to you very soon. There are resources in the description box of this video if you want to take things further with me, if you want to work with me. I also have free resources. There is a visionary life sheet that you can use, and it's going to help you to just pinpoint where you are in life in terms of 12 different life areas. And it's going to help you so that you can decide what area you want to focus on next in your personal vision. Thank you for listening. Like this video and subscribe to this channel if this type of content is helpful to you. And I will see you again very soon. Bye.